Dear students, last class we discussed heat, work, expansion work, which is also known as pressure volume work, zeroth law of thermodynamics, and the first law of thermodynamics. So yesterday we completed all these. Today we are going to discuss the mathematical statement of first law of thermodynamics. Next, enthalpy and the relationship between enthalpy and internal energy, standard heat of formation of compounds. Next, thermochemical equations. Then for the thermochemical equations, how to find standard enthalpy change of reaction. Finally, enthalpy change of combustion. So in today's class, we are going to discuss mathematical statement for different thermodynamic process. What is enthalpy? How can we relate enthalpy with internal energy? What is standard enthalpy change of formation of compounds? How to write thermochemical equations? For the equations as well as for the reactions, how to find enthalpy change of reaction at standard condition. Then enthalpy change of combustion. All these will be discussed. First one, mathematical statement of first law of thermodynamics for a different process. We take cyclic process. So case 1, we consider cyclic process. So we already studied the conditions for cyclic process. In cyclic process, change in internal energy 0, change in enthalpy 0, change in pressure 0, change in temperature 0, change in volume 0. So these are all the conditions for cyclic process. This we already studied. Okay, what is the mathematical statement of first law of thermodynamics for cyclic process? So yesterday we studied internal energy change is equal to Q plus W. This is mathematical statement of first law of thermodynamics. This is applied for cyclic process. So this is change in internal energy. We can use delta symbol as well as D. du or delta U. Both can be used. So change in internal energy is equal to Q plus W. We explained this equation yesterday. Q is heat absorbed by the system and work is done on the system. W is the work is done on the system. This is the explanation for the mathematical expression of first law of thermodynamics. When this is applied for a cyclic process, so what happens? We know that change in internal energy for a cyclic process is 0. Set it. So Q plus W is equal to 0. Q is equal to minus W. This is mathematical statement of first law of thermodynamics for a cyclic process. We can explain this expression as when a system absorbs Q amount of heat energy which is equal to the work done by the system, when W value will get negative sign, work done by the system. So heat absorbed by the system is equal to the work done by the system. So this is first process. Okay. We take second process, isochoric process. Case 2, we consider isochoric process. In isochoric process, there is no change in volume. So a system will be changed from one state into another state. During this process, no change in the volume. So delta V will be 0. So mathematical expression of first law of thermodynamics is delta U is equal to Q plus W. Now we assume that there is an expansion of gas. Okay. For the expansion of gas, last class we studied what is the expression of work. Q minus P delta V. Okay. So there is compression of gas as well as expansion of gas. For compression, W is equal to P delta V. For expansion, W is equal to minus P delta V. So instead of W, we substitute minus P delta V. Since it is an isochoric process, change in the volume is 0. There is no change in volume. So Q minus 0. Internal energy change is equal to Q. This is mathematical statement of first law of thermodynamics for isochoric process. It says the observed heat, the heat absorbed by the system is added as internal energy. This is the explanation. So how can we explain this expression? Delta U is equal to Q. Heat absorbed by the system is added as internal energy to the system. Okay, this is second process. We take third process. It is adiabatic process. Case 3. The process is an adiabatic process. In adiabatic process, there is no exchange of heat between system and the surrounding. Sorry. No change in heat. Exchange of heat is prevented between the system and the surrounding. So this is adiabatic process. So first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus W. So mathematical expression of first law of thermodynamics is applied for adiabatic process. Delta U is equal to W. So we can explain this expression as the decrease in internal energy of the system is equal to the work done by the system. Okay. The decrease in internal energy is equal to the work done by the system. The decrease in the internal energy of the system is equal to the work done by the system. This is third case. Fourth case, isobaric process. In isobaric process, there is no change in pressure. So change in pressure is not observed. Okay. So delta P is equal to 0 or dP is equal to 0. First law of thermodynamics is expressed as delta U is equal to Q plus W. For the expansion of gas, W is written as minus P delta V. For isobaric process, there is no change in pressure. So this can be written as Q is equal to delta U plus P delta V. This is a constant. We can explain this statement as the absorbed heat, system is absorbing a heat. The absorbed heat by a system is utilized for pressure volume expansion. We call it as what? PV expansion work. Pressure volume expansion work. The absorbed heat by the system is utilized for pressure volume expansion work, and absorbed heat is added to the system as internal energy. So two things. The absorbed heat is added to the system as internal energy as well as which is used for pressure volume expansion work. So there are 4 cases. The process are cyclic process, isochoric process, adiabatic process and isobaric process. 4 different cases with the 4 different processes. We have utilized mathematical statement of first law of thermodynamics. Based on that we derived a final statement. So based on this we have a problem. Problem number 7.1. Consider a gaseous molecule in the cylinder. So a gaseous molecule is enclosed in a cylinder which is fitted with a piston. A frictionless piston is there. So based on the internal pressure and external pressure, there will be expansion or compression. Okay. So here we are assuming expansion, right? So a gaseous molecule is enclosed in a cylinder which is fitted with a frictionless piston. The external pressure is 1 atmospheric pressure. The gaseous molecule is absorbing 400 joule heat energy. What happens? Will it expand or will it compress? Definitely the gaseous molecule will expand. By absorbing 400 joule heat energy, the gaseous molecule will expand, so piston will move in the upward direction. So this is the expansion process. Before absorbing heat energy, the volume is 5 liters. So initial volume is 5 liters. By absorbing heat energy, there is an expansion. So final volume is 10 liter. Okay. So what is the change in volume? Vf minus Vi is equal to 5 liters. And we maintain pressure as a constant one. Now the question is calculate internal energy change. So in the problem, gaseous molecules are enclosed in a cylinder which is fitted with a frictionless piston. External pressure is 1 atmospheric pressure which is maintained as a constant one. When the gaseous molecules are absorbing 400 joule energy, there will be an expansion. From 5 liters into 10 liters, volume is expanded, so change in volume is 5 liters. Now we have to calculate internal energy change with the help of first law of thermodynamics. So mathematical expression of first law of thermodynamics is delta U is equal to Q plus W. Now the process is an expansion process, so work is done by the system. So what about W value? Plus P delta V or minus P delta V? Minus P delta V. Q minus P delta V. Right. So internal energy change is equal to heat absorbed by the system is 400 joule minus the external pressure is 1 atmospheric pressure. The change in volume is 5 liters. Okay. So we have a conversion factor. 1 liter atmosphere means 1 liter atmospheric pressure means 101.33 joule. Okay. So heat is expressed in terms of joule. The remaining quantity is expressed in terms of liter atmospheric pressure. So this is also going to be changed as a joule. So conversion factor is 1 liter atmospheric pressure is equal to 101.33 joule. So internal energy change is equal to 400 joule minus 5 into 101.33 joule. So the final answer is minus 106.55 joule. So internal energy change is calculated for the gaseous molecule when there is an expansion. So with this we complete the mathematical statement of first law of thermodynamics for a different process and the problems related to that. Next one, we move into the concept called enthalpy. Enthalpy is defined as, the symbol for enthalpy is H. Enthalpy is defined as the sum of internal energy and the product of pressure and volume of a system. For one particular system, we are going to calculate enthalpy. Enthalpy is defined as the sum of internal energy and the product of pressure and volume of the system. So this is called enthalpy. And this enthalpy is the capacity to do mechanical work, or we can say this is the capacity of releasing heat energy by the system. When you consider a change in the system, there will be a process. Any one process may be there in the system. So due to that, a system will be moved from one state into another state. So when there is a change in the system, always there will be heat change. So heat change is denoted as enthalpy change. Okay. So in chemical reactions, there will be a heat change, which is nothing but enthalpy change. When a process is carried out in a system, always there will be heat change, which will be equal to the enthalpy change. Next one, we are going to find the relationship between enthalpy and internal energy. Okay. So enthalpy H and internal energy U. What is the relationship between enthalpy as well as internal energy? So enthalpy is defined as the sum of internal energy and the product of pressure and volume of the system. Now the system undergoes a change from initial state to final state. Okay. So we take initial state. A system is changed from one state into another state. For the initial state, enthalpy of the system is taken as H1. Internal energy of the system is taken as U1. We maintain pressure as a constant. Right? Volume of the system at initial state is V1. Take it as equation 2. So for the system at initial state, enthalpy is denoted as H1, internal energy is denoted as U1, pressure is constant, volume is denoted as V1. For the final state, a system is changed from initial state to final state. Enthalpy is denoted as H2, internal energy is denoted as U2, pressure is constant, volume is denoted as V2. We take it as equation 3. So to find the change in enthalpy, we need the change in enthalpy. For that, equation 2 is subtracted from equation 3. Therefore, H2 minus H1 is equal to U2 minus U1 plus pressure is a common one. So V2 minus V1. The change in enthalpy H2 minus H1 can be denoted as delta H is equal to change in internal energy is denoted as delta U plus pressure. Change in volume is denoted as delta V. So this is the relationship between internal energy change as well as enthalpy change. So derive the relationship between enthalpy as well as internal energy, or enthalpy change and internal energy change. The final equation is obtained. Okay, we consider the system as a gaseous molecule enclosed in a cylinder. Okay. The system is moving from one state into another state. We assume the system as a gaseous molecule enclosed in a cylinder. The process is an expansion process. Okay. So take fourth equation. Delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. First law of thermodynamics says internal energy change is equal to the sum of heat absorbed and work is done on the system. Okay, you substitute this value in equation 4. Delta H is equal to Q plus W plus P delta V. This is mathematical expression of first law of thermodynamics. Instead of delta U, we substitute Q plus W in fourth equation. Okay, so here expansion of gas. We assume the system as a gaseous molecule enclosed in a cylinder. The process is an expansion process. So Q W is rearranged as P delta V plus P delta V. So these two will be cancelled. Delta H is equal to Q. So what is the relationship between enthalpy change and heat? Both are equal. Okay. This is called heat content. This is called heat content. So we have derived the relationship between internal energy and enthalpy. Then for the expansion process, delta H is equal to Q. This is called the heat content. Now one more relationship can be derived. For that, we assume the gaseous molecules as ideal gaseous molecules. Gaseous molecules enclosed in a cylinder are assumed as ideal gases. Okay. So as usual, there will be initial state as well as final state. So we have taken ideal gaseous molecules in a cylinder. Then there will be reaction. Gaseous molecules will react. So there will be reactant gaseous molecules. Due to the reaction, they will produce product gaseous molecules. Okay. So ideal gaseous molecules are enclosed in a cylinder. They will undergo a chemical reaction. So we assume the initial state as a reactants. Because of chemical reaction, we will get a product which is nothing but the final state. Okay. So what is the ideal gas equation? PV is equal to nRT. This is the ideal gas equation for ideal gases. Pressure and temperature is maintained as a constant. Volume of the ideal gas at initial state is taken as VI. That means the reactants. Okay. Volume of the ideal gas molecule at initial state is denoted as VI. The number of reactant molecules, Ni. Number of ideal gases are involved in the reaction. So number of moles of reactants is denoted as Ni because this is initial state. So because of chemical reaction, we get the product. Ideal gas equation PV is equal to nRT. Now we have obtained the products which is assumed as a final state. So volume of gaseous molecules at the final state Vf. Number of moles of product formed Nf. Okay. Take this as equation 5, equation 6. Subtract equation 5 from 6. Pressure is a common one. So Vf minus Vi is equal to RT common. This is a gas constant. We maintain temperature as a constant. So NF minus NI. We subtract the equation 5 from 6. Pressure is a common factor as well as temperature is a common factor. R is gas constant. So pressure, the change in volume is denoted as P delta V is equal to change in the number of moles is denoted as delta Ng. Okay. Change in the number of moles is denoted as delta Ng RT. You take it as equation 7. Okay. So we have already studied the relationship between enthalpy and internal energy. So enthalpy change is equal to internal energy change plus P delta V. This is fourth equation. In fourth equation, instead of P delta V, we are going to substitute this. Delta H is equal to delta U plus delta Ng RT. So this is another relationship between enthalpy change and internal energy change. So this is an important question. Next one, we move into standard enthalpy change of formation of compounds or standard heat of formation. What is the symbol for standard heat of formation? Delta H naught F. H is a symbol of enthalpy. Delta represents a change. So delta H means change in enthalpy or enthalpy change. Compound is formed. So we use F. F means formation. Standard enthalpy change of formation. So this indicates a standard. We maintain standard conditions, standard temperature and standard pressure. Okay. So H enthalpy, delta H enthalpy change, delta HF enthalpy change of formation, and a naught is used as a superscript. So this is called a standard enthalpy change of formation or standard heat of formation. Okay. Now what is the definition of standard heat of formation? Which is nothing but change in enthalpy when 1 mole of compound is formed from their elements at standard conditions. This is the definition. You take ferrous sulfide. Okay. Ferrous sulfide compound is formed. During the formation, there will be heat changes. Either it can liberate heat energy or it can absorb heat energy. How this compound will be formed? From the elements, this will be formed. So ferrous sulfide is formed from their elements, iron and sulfur. When the elements iron and sulfur are combining, it produces the compound ferrous sulfide. All the reactants and the products are in the solid state. So the definition of standard heat of formation is the enthalpy change. Delta H is what? Enthalpy change. Standard heat of formation of a compound is defined as enthalpy change of 1 mole of compound. Okay. Enthalpy change of 1 mole of compound formed from their elements at standard conditions. Okay. What about the standard condition? Temperature is 298 Kelvin, pressure is 1 bar pressure. Okay, so when we maintain 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure, how much enthalpy change is observed for the formation of 1 mole of a compound from their elements? It is called standard heat of formation or standard enthalpy change of formation. Okay. So for this compound formation, standard heat of formation or standard enthalpy change of formation value is minus 100.42 kilojoule per mole. So this indicates formation of ferrous sulfide is an exothermic reaction. Ferrous sulfide is formed from their elements by liberating 100.42 kilojoule per mole energy. Okay, next, important 1 mark. What is the standard heat of formation of elements, or we can say standard enthalpy change of formation of elements? For elements, always the value is 0. You have to remind it. In all the problems, we will use it. Standard heat of formation of elements or enthalpy change of formation of elements always is 0. For elements, 0. For compound, there will be a particular value. Okay. Next, we move into thermochemical equations. So consider a stoichiometric equation, right? Hydrogen combines with oxygen, it provides water molecule. So in lower classes, we already studied how to write a stoichiometric equation, then how to balance it. So usually while writing the stoichiometric equation, reactants will be in the left hand side, product will be in the right hand side. What is the first pointer? All the reactants will be in the left hand side, product will be in the right hand side. If more than one reactant or more than one product is formed, we will use plus symbol. We have two reactants, between them we have used plus symbol. Then it should be written as a balanced one. Okay. This is a balanced one. Between the reactants and the products, we will use an arrow mark. If we use single-headed arrow mark, the reaction is irreversible in nature, only forward reaction. If the arrow mark is a double-headed arrow mark, it indicates the reaction as reversible reaction. Both forward and backward reaction will take place. So these are all basic informations regarding a stoichiometric equation. We know how to write a balanced stoichiometric equation. Thermochemical equation means we have to add certain things in the stoichiometric equation. First point, physical state of reactants and products should be mentioned. So for the reactants and the products, you have to mention the physical state. Hydrogen is a gaseous molecule, oxygen is a gaseous molecule, the formed product water is also a gaseous molecule, because enthalpy change is depending on the physical state. So in a stoichiometric balanced equation, you may write reactants and products alone, but thermochemical equation means you have to mention the physical state of reactants as well as products. This is point number 1. We have to mention physical state. Point number 2, we have to mention enthalpy change of a reaction. Okay, enthalpy change of a reaction should be mentioned. If the reactants and the products are in standard condition, it will be standard enthalpy change of reaction. The reactants and products will be at standard conditions, 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. We call the enthalpy change of reaction as a standard one. So for every thermochemical equation, you have to mention standard enthalpy change of a reaction. For this one, the value is minus 967.4 kilojoule. Okay. So at the end of thermochemical equation, we have to mention standard enthalpy change of the reaction. Point number 3. The standard enthalpy change of the reaction will have the same value with opposite sign. So while mentioning the standard enthalpy change of the reaction, we use a particular sign as well as unit. So the arrow mark indicates it is an irreversible reaction. Okay, only forward reaction takes place. So this is an exothermic reaction. It liberates energy. If it is a reversible process, double-headed arrow mark is mentioned. So here, double-headed arrow mark is mentioned means forward reaction is exothermic. So it liberates 967.4 kilojoule energy. Negative sign indicates liberation of energy. So forward reaction is exothermic, but reverse reaction is endothermic. Okay. So third point, for reversible process, the standard enthalpy change of the reaction will have the same value, magnitude will be the same, but sign is different. Okay. So first point, physical state of reactants and product should be mentioned. Second point, you have to mention standard enthalpy change of the reaction with a particular sign and a unit. For the formation of water, minus 967.4 kilojoule. Third point, if it is a reversible process, the same magnitude will be there but different sign. Forward process exothermic means reverse process will be endothermic. Then point number 4, if the equation is multiplied by a common number, for example, this is multiplied by a common number 2, the coefficients will be changed as 4, 2 and 4. The equation is multiplied by a common number means the delta H value should also be multiplied by a common number. Okay. So standard enthalpy change of the reaction value should also be multiplied by a common number. Okay. So these are all the points we have to remember while writing the thermochemical equations. Next question, how to find the standard enthalpy change of a reaction? How can we calculate standard enthalpy change of reaction? So this is obtained from standard enthalpy change of formation of product as well as reactant. Okay, so in a chemical reaction, we have reactants as well as products. Reactants are combining together to get product. So standard enthalpy change of the reaction is calculated from standard enthalpy change of formation of products minus standard enthalpy change of formation of reactants. Okay. So this is the formula to calculate standard enthalpy change of a reaction. So in reactions, more than one product will be formed, more than one reactant may involve in the reaction. For that, we rearrange this like this. So standard enthalpy change of a reaction is equal to the sum of standard enthalpy change of formation of products minus sum of standard enthalpy change of formation of reactants. To explain this, we consider a general reaction. A moles of reactant A combines with the B moles of reactant B. It produces C moles of product C and D moles of product D. How can we calculate standard enthalpy change of the reaction? Sum of standard enthalpy change of formation of products minus sum of standard enthalpy change of formation of reactants. So here what are the products and the reactants? Here we have the products C as well as D. Standard enthalpy change of formation of product C, standard enthalpy change of formation of product D. Sum of standard enthalpy change of formation of product C as well as product D, and this is a stoichiometric coefficient equation, stoichiometric balanced equation. So what about the coefficients? C and D. C moles of product C, D moles of product D. So that sum of standard enthalpy change of formation of products C and D minus, we have reactant A as well as reactant B. Standard enthalpy change of formation of reactant A, standard enthalpy change of formation of reactant B. We take sum of standard enthalpy change of formation of reactant A as well as reactant B. What about number of moles? A moles of reactant A, B moles of reactant B. So this is the formula to calculate standard enthalpy change of a reaction. Based on this, we have a problem. Take problem number 7.2. Ethanol combines with oxygen it produces the products carbon dioxide and water. So for this chemical reaction, we have to calculate standard enthalpy change of the reaction. What is the formula? Sum of standard enthalpy change of formation of products minus sum of standard enthalpy change of formation of reactants. So what are the products? Carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide as well as water. Standard enthalpy change of formation of carbon dioxide, number of moles 2 plus standard enthalpy change of formation of water, number of moles 3. Okay, so this part over. Next, remaining the reactants are ethanol and oxygen. Standard enthalpy change of formation of ethanol, number of moles 1 plus standard enthalpy change of formation of oxygen, number of moles 3. So substitute standard enthalpy change of formation of reactants and the products, you will get the answer. Standard enthalpy change of formation of carbon dioxide minus 393.5, number of moles 2 plus standard enthalpy change of formation of water molecule minus 285.5, number of moles 3. So product part over. Okay. So we calculate standard enthalpy change of the reaction, product part over. Next, reactant part. Number of moles 1, standard enthalpy change of formation of reactant ethanol minus 277 plus standard enthalpy change of formation of oxygen 0. Why? For element always 0. Standard heat of formation of element 0. This is molecule of an element, value is 0. So final answer is standard enthalpy change of the reaction is minus 1366.5 kilojoule. Okay. Next one, heat of combustion or standard enthalpy change of combustion or enthalpy change of combustion, whatever it may be. So next one, heat of combustion. Consider carbon, which is burnt in the presence of oxygen. It produces carbon dioxide gas. Okay. So during this process, there will be heat change. Okay. So heat of combustion is defined as enthalpy change when 1 mole of substance is burnt in the presence of excess of oxygen. Okay. Heat of combustion is nothing but enthalpy change for 1 mole of a compound is burnt in the presence of excess of air or oxygen. So enthalpy change of combustion. For this reaction, the value is minus 394.55 kilojoule per mole. So this is an exothermic process. 1 mole of carbon is burnt in the presence of oxygen. It liberates 394.55 kilojoule per mole energy. So when delta H value is negative, this is an exothermic process. When delta H value is positive, it is endothermic process. Heat is liberated, heat is absorbed. So today we have completed mathematical statement of first law of thermodynamics for different processes like cyclic process, adiabatic process, isochoric process and isobaric process. Then what is enthalpy? Enthalpy change. How we can relate enthalpy with internal energy. Then standard heat of formation, thermochemical equations, standard enthalpy change of reactions, finally heat of combustion. All these we have completed today. Tomorrow we will start heat capacity. Okay. Molar heat capacity will be discussed tomorrow. Thank you.